So at the Number Lab, we often start our math blocks with what we call a community conversation. In our classrooms, this typically involves pulling kids together in a circle on the floor or starting in what we call a conversation lounge. We've got these red sofas you can see behind me on wheels in all of our classrooms, and so we kind of move them into a U shape near a whiteboard so that we can have one of these discussions together. So community conversations, in our opinion, should actually replace your circle time, your calendar time, or any other routine you have for starting your math class. In our thought, they are a much more meaningful use of 5 to 7 minutes and a really crucial part of building a really productive classroom culture in a mathematics class. If you're working towards a classroom culture that is communal, discourse-rich, collaborative, agentic, meaning you're actually aiming for the opposite of that traditional narrow classroom culture that's frankly really behavioristic and teacher-centered, then you need to change your routine so that you make time for community conversations. So community conversations are just really informal discussions about something that you feel like your learning community needs to think about. You're essentially just making time for the thing that matters, to talk alongside your kids, with your kids, about really important ideas that will strengthen community, identity, create positive mindsets, that type of thing. Most of us want that in our classrooms. We want a healthy, vibrant classroom culture. We want kids who have a good mindset around learning, but we just don't make enough time to talk about these things at the level that we really should. These kinds of discussions are not like a one and done kind of thing. In a community conversation, you're kind of planting the seeds, and then you'll need to over time keep dipping back into what you talked about to help kids really deepen understanding. You'll kind of turn the topics over, come at them from different angles over time in order to kind of help kids really internalize them and make use of them as a community. So community conversations don't have to involve a lot of planning. This isn't an activity, this isn't a huge lesson plan kind of things. Sometimes we just ask a question, sometimes we offer some research or some information that we think might help the learning community. Sometimes we talk about something that isn't working very well. Over time then, these conversations kind of add up, and they are a really crucial part of, like I said, building that productive culture. So at the start of the year, especially with young kids, we often talk about what it means to learn in community. We talk about things like, how do you have a really good conversation? What does it mean to have wait time, or the importance of wait time? We'll talk about the necessity of many different voices taking part in a conversation. That's what makes a conversation work. With older, more experienced learners, we sometimes have a community conversation about something like intellectual humility. Often, but not always, we end up at the end of the community conversation with some really great ideas that came out of it, and if that happens, we just make a quick anchor chart to hang on the wall. So we just get a huge one of those big post-it notes, and we just use a marker and we just kind of record some of the ideas that bubbled up during the community conversation, and then that just helps us sort of anchor back to it over time. We've also written some of these down. Some of these conversations, we've kind of mapped them out and written them down and posted them for free on our website. Our hope was that you could try them out, maybe as written, and then sort of dissect them, and then find your way into creating your own community conversations, find your way into creating your own cadence, you might say, that fits your community's needs and helps you build the kind of classroom culture you want for your mathematicians.